Sure. And then in this video, he calls for the European empire.
Is it Guy or Guy?
Like, I think you can say either.
The world order of tomorrow is not a world order based on nation states or countries. It's a world order that is based on empires. China is not a nation. It's a civilization, Han. India, you know it better than I do, is not a nation. There are 2,000 nations in India. There are 20 different languages that are used there. There are 4 big religions at the same time. It is the biggest democracy worldwide. The US is also an empire, more than a nation. Maybe tomorrow they will speak there more Spanish than English. I don't know what will happen. And then finally the Russian Federation. The world of tomorrow is a world of empires in which we European and you British can only defend your interest, your way of life, by doing it together in a European framework and in the European Union.
That doesn't sound like a dictator, does it?
No, not at all. Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the, what is it? The 15th of September, 2019. We have a great show for you today. From a big freeze. Right. Like that.
All right, so in Hong Kong, they are singing God Save the Queen. They're asking for help. Will help come? Well, let me see where we got. We're going to go to Italy too today, guys.
Tom said that was a Joe Biden gaffe. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. But you knew what I meant. Everybody knew.
Pro-democracy protesters rallied outside of Britain's consulate in Hong Kong on Sunday, demanding London do more to protect its former colonial subjects and ramp up pressure on Beijing over sliding freedoms. Hundreds of demonstrators saying God Save the Queen and Rule Britannia outside of the consulate, waving the Union Jack as well as Hong Kong's colonial era flags. I gotta get a video of this so you can see what I'm talking about. What do you think, guys? Should God save the Queen, and should the Queen save Hong Kong?
Yes. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to offer up my opinion here. Absolutely. This is really heartening to me.
No results.
Because these Hong Kong people are actually appealing to the populist movements in the United Kingdom and the United States and anybody around the world that's pretty much conservative, because they are the ones that actually have the heart to get it done, to help them.
Yeah, here we go. Let me get a video. You need to see. I don't know. Sometimes it might just be a whitelist us.
In the Sino-British Joint Declaration, it was promised that Hong Kong people would enjoy basic human rights and such protection. For example, freedoms of speech, freedom of assembly and protest. And we were also promised with universal suffrage, which is one important implementation of democracy. But we are seeing more and more occurrences of such violation in Hong Kong. Since British government is one of the signatory of the declaration, we believe that the UK government has the legal rights and moral obligation to protect Hong Kong people.
But they're so right, though. They are 100% right that the UK has the legal right and moral obligation to do it. Now, does the UK want to take on China?
No. The protest came as another large rally made its way through the city streets on Sunday afternoon in defiance of a ban by police who warned the gathering was illegal. The once stable international hub has been convulsed by weeks of huge, sometimes violent rallies calling for greater democratic freedoms and police accountability. The movement is the biggest challenge to China's rule since the city was handed back to Britain in 1997 and shows no sign of ending, with local leaders in Beijing taking a hard line. Under a deal signed with Britain ahead of the city's 1997 handover to China, Hong Kong is allowed to keep its unique freedoms for 50 years. Democracy activists accuse Beijing of reneging on its promises by tightening political control over the semi-autonomous territory and refusing calls for universal suffrage because they would be voted out. You know, many of the protest signs accuse Britain of not doing enough to confront Beijing over its tightening grip on the semi-autonomous Chinese city. Sino-British joint declaration is void, one read. So far, I'm quite disappointed by the fact that the UK hasn't done anything to support us. Many called for Hong Kongers who want to leave the city to be granted citizenship in Britain or other Commonwealth nations. Some Hong Kongers were given British national overseas passports before the handover, a document that allows holders to easily travel to the UK but grants no working or residency rights. At least with full citizenship, they can protect Hong Kong people from the Chinese government. Earlier this week, 130,000 UK lawmakers signed a joint letter calling for Britain and the Commonwealth countries to come up with an insurance policy for Hong Kongers to resettle overseas should they wish to. Hong Kong has been battered by nearly 100 days of protests sparked by the now abandoned plan to extradite citizens to the mainland. This pro-democracy movement has gained traction. And all eyes and my eyes are on China and on Hong Kong. Here you have, that's not the one. We're going to go to that in a second. Let's see.
So what I'm thinking of is, you know, all of these quote-unquote refugees that have
riot police here
gone into the UK, right? They are opening up their arms for all sorts of quote-unquote refugees from around the world, mostly from the Middle East. Yeah. And yet, when we see real people that need help,
and these
people that were already part of your umbrella system,
these people were already part of a UK government.
I think you owe it to them.
They're already your cousins.
They should come first.
So these are mostly young people who are fighting for they're doing their best to fight against communism. So what can you do? I don't know. I don't know how effective some of these things are. Little tiny fire there. So Hong Kong is a powder keg right now, and you know, I'm picking a side, and I'm picking the Hong Kongers.
Me too.
Because I know the brutal fascist regime, just because there's law and order in China, doesn't make them right. Their law and order is, if you go against us, we put you in jail and we take out your organs and we sell them. So that's not really law and order. That's a totalitarian dictatorship. And we already fund people who try to overthrow dictatorships in Iran, in Syria, and Venezuela.
Very true.
But we're not going after China because China could destroy us.
Well,
and that would be a full-blown war. Venezuela has no power.
Let's highlight the fact that Trump, in his way, is going after China.
In his way.
Through tariffs, and is standing up to China.
Right.
And I think that he's just going to keep, I hope and I pray that he's going to keep taking a harder and harder stance. And it's almost like a gradual stalwart position against China, where you stand up and you do the tariffs, and then you can take a next step into the human rights violations and so on and so forth.
Are you ready for your commercial break?
We are ready for a commercial break.
So Britt Baza sent this to me.
Oh my gosh.
Gold toilet stolen in Blenheim Palace burglary.
So I've heard of being born with a silver spoon in your mouth to indicate being wealthy, but not being born with a golden toilet.
It's operational.
It is operational.
An 18-karat solid gold toilet has been stolen in a burglary overnight at Blenheim Palace. Now, that's, I mean, seriously, you just take the toilet, melt it down, nobody knows. But you clean it Good.
The
gang broke into the Oxfordshire Palace about 4:50.
But
and stole the artwork
on
the working
earth?
toilet entitled America, which visitors had been invited to use.
No way. See, this doesn't seem nice.
I'm glad they stole it. Has not been found, but a 66-year-old man has been arrested. The burglary caused significant damage and flooding because the toilet was plumbed into the building. It was part of an expedition by Italian conceptual artists. However, the 18th century stately home in the world is a World Heritage Site and a birthplace of Sir Winston Churchill. It is currently closed while investigations continue. Speaking last month, Edward Spencer Churchill, half-brother of the current Duke of Marlborough, has said that he was relaxed about security for the artwork. It's not going to be the easiest thing to nick, he said. Well, they nicked it. Visitors to the exhibition were free to use the palace's throne for its intended purpose with a 3-minute time limit to avoid queues. The piece of art has been stolen and high-value toilet made out of gold. So you should not have a gold toilet. The gold toilet was famously offered to U.S. President Trump in 2017. So,
here's my question. I want to know if gold, and I already know the answer.
The world order of tomorrow is not a world.
I'm Googling right now. I want to know the difference between porcelain and weight and gold.
You want to know the value of...
Not value. No. Which I can't... I'm literally not finding this quickly. My point is, carrying away a porcelain toilet or any kind of ceramic toilet or whatever is already really heavy. I have a sneaking suspicion that gold is even heavier, and I would like to applaud the person that was able to get this thing out of there, because gold is so heavy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's way more dense than, say, porcelain or ceramic or whatever your modern toilets are going to be made out of.
So Guy Verhofstadt came over to the UK, anti-Brexit campaign.
So I actually have that video.
Sure, and then in this video, he calls for the European empire.
Is it Guy or Guy?
I think you can say either.
The world order of tomorrow is not a world order based on nation states or countries. It's a world order that is based on empires. China is not a nation. It's a civilization, Han. India, you know it better than I do, is not a nation. There are 2,000 nations in India. There are 20 different languages that are used there. There are 4 big religions at the same time. It is the biggest democracy worldwide. The US is also an empire, more than a nation. Maybe tomorrow they will speak there more Spanish than English. I don't know what will happen. And then finally the Russian Federation. The world of tomorrow is a world of empires in which we European and you British can only defend your interest, your way of life, by doing it together in a European framework and in the European Union.
That doesn't sound like a dictator, does it?
No, not at all.
European empire. That's the only way we can do it. Me, will rule the world.
Oh my gosh. What he was saying, though, sounds so right. Because what he's saying is there are other empires, which I'm not really thinking of any right now. But that there are, maybe he's trying to say that the United States is an empire. I don't know. But he's trying to say the world is the world of empires. And the only way that we can stay competitive and we can defend ourselves against these empires is to be an empire together, which in theory, I guess kind of sounds good, but I'm just trying to think of these other empires that are attacking these other little nations.
Exactly. Here's the thing. His plea to empirical rule is the basis of all built empires, the Roman Empire.
We're too small to do it on our own, but what happens with every empire is they spread like a virus and they try to take over more territory.
The idea is that you need more and more to gain and have control.
An empire is never satisfied.
He is a dictator.
Yes.
And the EU is an evil dictator. They are literally Hitler.
I do have an issue with Guy or Guy Verhofstadt, and that is his hair. Like, I just don't like it.
It's my joy to honor you in all I do. to honor you.
So I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. I'm so glad that you are part of our Resistance Chicks family.
And our pre-rehearsal
Yeah.
live.
That too. I'm glad that you support us. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe to our videos. And when I say comment, I really mean it. The more comments you leave on our videos after the fact, just because you left something in the chat, leave it in the comment section. It really, really does help. Share our videos. Get the message out there. Patriot Gallery works really hard.
She's been cutting up the videos.
Cutting up the videos so you guys can have shorter videos.
Trying to get around that censorship algorithm.
Exactly. So thanks to Patriot Gallery. We will be back on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our weekly roundup. And hopefully before that. You never know. We've got a studio. Yes, hopefully we will have a Bible study this week. So, John, I think we're in 21. I'm really excited about that. I think we are. I probably just said that wrong, but I think we are. So you guys are a blessing. Thank you to all of our moderators who were here today and everybody that was in the chat contributing to a wonderful show. It was a great show. Good job, Leah.
Thank you. Good job, Michelle.
Thank you. Remember, guys, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. We love you. God loves you.
One more time.
Okay. Just kidding. We're going again.
On our way out.
Okay.
Amazing love, how can it be
That you, my king, would die for me.
Yeah.
Amazing love, I know it's true. And it's my joy to honor you in all I do, to honor you. All right, you guys. God bless.
I was caught